So with her first husband being a drunkard, a womanizer, and a woman beater, and her second chance led her to marry her childhood friend, only to watch him die, leaving her a young widow. This particular chance wasn't even being fair at all to Akudo. After the death of her husband Okonta, it didn't take long, her father also passed on. Akudo wailed. What was going on? In her previous life, her husband was only womanizing and drinking. Her father was still alive and she was living in peace. So what was going on? And she also had her daughter. Her daughter was always there for her. So why should she choose this type of ill fate for herself? Akudo made up her mind that she wasn't going to stay in this chance at all. She returned back to the mountains and met the woman. And when she met this deity, she actually pleaded with the deity for her last chance. She told the deity that she wanted to return everything back to the way it used to be. The deity looked at her and laughed and told her, you know one thing? It's only people that have regrets that think that what they have currently going on is not good. The day you helped me, I could see in your eyes that you had so much regret. You felt that Azuka was the wrong person for you. You felt that Azuka had brought you so much pain. You had so much, I wish I had not married him. You had so much thoughts in your mind. You had so much wishes. If the hands of clock could go back, I would have done something better. So I wanted you to have a taste of it. I wanted you to have a taste of it if the hands of clock could go back. If you would have had something better. And then and there, Akudo understood that Azuka was actually her husband. And there was nothing she could do about it. That the fact that Azuka drinks and womanized does not change the fact that Azuka was her husband. And even if the hands of clock chooses to go back, she wasn't going to have a perfect home either. So it was better to hold that which she had, which was her daughter Ndidi, and live in peace. Because in this particular world where she is, she had Ndidi, she had her father, she had other people around her. Okonta was still going to be alive. She wasn't going to lose everybody at the same time. So after pleading with the deity had told her to go back home, that her wishes were going to be granted. When she returned home that night, she had a peaceful night rest. And the next morning, what woke her up was the voice of her daughter Ndidi. The way Akudo was excited, she was glad. She was really happy. She learned to appreciate the little things around her. She stopped wishing. She stopped regretting. Not because she was comfortable with the fact that her husband was cheating, but she learned to appreciate her daughter Ndidi. She learned to appreciate every other things surrounding her and stop wishing that things could go back to the hands of time. And with Azuka still misbehaving, still drinking and visiting the latest bars and latest club in town, eating nkwobi and ishewu with various ladies, one fateful day, Azuka met his doom. As the moment he was done misbehaving and drinking, he entered into a very big gutter, and it was a rainy day. He felt he was in his bed sleeping. The rain poured on him seriously that he drank so much water, and water was in his intestine. When people had found him the next morning, he was already swollen. He was big, and there was nothing that could be done to save his life. This broke Akudo's heart. Yes, this wasn't what she wanted for her husband. Even if her husband was a wicked person, this wasn't what she wanted for even herself and her daughter. She mourned her husband for a period of 3 months, and when she was done mourning her husband, she started running his business. Akudo inherited everything Azuka had. She became very wealthy. Very, very wealthy. She sent her daughter to the best school in town, to the most prestigious school in town. She was living a very good and healthy life. She didn't have anything troubling her when it comes to man because nobody was making her heart to beat faster than it should. And with the passing days, one day while she was at work, she had met a business associate, Ogonna, a very calm, handsome man. He was very good with words, but at the same time, he was a very calculative person. He wasn't someone that loves to cheat, and at the same time, he does not want you to cheat him. Very, very calculative man. And it didn't take long. From business associates, they started talking. From regular talking as friends, they started hanging out and having lunch. Akudo shared her fears with him, stating that she does not want to get married again because she does not want anyone that's going to misbehave, someone that is going to bring her tears. Ogonna was being very specific. He wasn't someone that drinks at all, and he does not believe in having multiple women. He was a very straightforward person the same way. He deals with women the same way he deals with his businesses. If he is handling A is going to be A till he is done with A. Akudo laughed and quickly told Ogonna, women are not businesses, you know. As much as I like your principle and your simplicity, that doesn't mean you should handle a woman like a business. Because when you do, when you don't like that brand, that means you're going to discard of her. Women are not business. They are to be loved, they are to be cherished, they are to be adored. And in return, she's going to respect you. Ogonna smiled and said, no problem, my dear. I totally understand everything you're saying. They both agreed to think about it, as they were adults and know what they wanted. And with the passing days, Akudo asked herself if truly she wanted to get married again. And she told herself yes, she wanted to get married again. Her longtime childhood friend Okonta had gotten married. He had a wife and 2 sons, and they were living in peace. He did not pass on based on what she had seen or what she had experienced. So she could not even marry Okonta even if she wanted to marry again. Here she was with someone that cares about her. With Ogonna asking her out, she was being scared and skeptical about it. She didn't want someone that was going to come and play with her heart again. But at the same time, she believed that if he was being sincere, then she should give it a try. She had already seen the worst of it all. What's worst can come her way. What else can it be? And it didn't take long. Akudo and Ogonna got married. They didn't get married in the extravagant way. They got married in a very simple and small way. Not something too loud. They just wanted a very peaceful wedding. And after this wedding, Ogonna turned out to be her destined husband. Because Ogonna was the man she had ever prayed for. Ogonna took care of Ndidi like Ndidi was his biological daughter. Ogonna was always there for her. Everything was the way she wanted it to be. Because whatsoever she sees, Ogonna actually sits down to reason it before giving a final verdict. He didn't do it like as if whatever he wanted was the final say, whatever he wanted was the final verdict. Akudo enjoyed her home. Akudo loved her home. The fact that Ogonna listened to her, cherished her, cared for her, was everything she wanted. And Ogonna was a very religious person. The fact that he was religious made her understand why he does not drink and why he fears to humanize. Because whosoever fears God cannot go against the will of God. Akudo was glad. She had finally found her pastor. Now she knew that she was destined to marry. Only that she had met the wrong people. Only that she had tied herself with the wrong people. Only that she wasn't patient enough for the right person to come her way. But now she is with the right person and she's enjoying her home and not enduring her home. Akudo and Ogonna lived in peace and harmony They welcomed a bouncing baby boy. He was named Amobi. They loved and cherished their son as much as the way they loved and cherished Ndidi. Everything in their home seemed perfect. They built wealth. They accumulated wealth. They turned out to be one of the wealthiest people in Umuduno. Thank you very much for watching and listening to the story. We still remain your favorite storyteller, Zika. Please I would like you to drop what you've learned from the story. But before that, I would like to say one or two. Sometimes in life, we tend to experience one or two setbacks, and we feel that this setback tend to define who we are. And I want to use this story to direct and redirect some people's life. Setbacks don't define who anybody is. Misfortunes, temptations will come. Trials and tribulation will always come, but that doesn't define who we are. It's the way we handle these things that matters. Even the Bible says that trials and tribulation will come. So we shouldn't hold back to those things and think that, oh, I am supposed to be like this. We should always believe that someday, sometime, we are going to victoriously come out from whatsoever the situation may be. Please, I'd like you to share stories to your loved ones, subscribe, like, share. So we'll see you again in our next story. Bye for now.